All right, I am going to be showing you how we do all these different types of washes. It will look like this when we're done, or a variation of that. So keeping this here so you can kind of remember my instructions as I go. All right, let's get started. Nice thick line down the middle. Doesn't have to be perfect. And then we want one, and you want to do this on your Arches watercolor paper because it will definitely read the colors and be able to handle the washes better than on your sketchbook paper. Okay, so you should have this handout. I'll send it to you. Wet on wet. We'll wet the entire square with clean water. If you want to look over here, I have two waters. One will be dirty, one will stay clean. And that's important part of the process as we go. So square number one, wet on wet. First, I'm going to take my smaller brush and I'm going to pull some Viridian Green. Now you can see my palette is nice and wet. That's because I've already woken up my colors with the spray bottle. So I have some Viridian Green. I'm excited about it. I'm gonna take my big flat brush. Remember, we're doing wet on wet, and I'm putting it in the clean water over here. And I'm gonna hold my paper up a little bit so gravity can help us. And I'm just painting a clean square rectangle. Awesome. Once I have that in, then I'm gonna add the color. So pull in some green, and the color is gonna spread. And I can also add the color with a little brush if I want it to go faster. I can add it with my big brush as well. Okay, so kind of fun, kind of nice. The water will act as a natural bounding block of where the color will spread to. So use my dirty, and I'm gonna clean the brush. Okay, awesome. Okay, the next one, we are gonna load the brush. So right here, I'm loading it with water and I'm loading it with color. So lots of color, lots of water. Then I'm gonna put one, using gravity again, one nice big streak right here. Now to bring the color down, I'm going to add some water. Dip my brush back in the water, add some more water. It's going to give us that nice fade. Pulling the color down by adding water. Okay, so you can see that. Awesome. Now sometimes you can see it's kind of, the water's beading right here. Sometimes I like that, I think it's interesting. Sometimes you don't want that. Take a clean paper towel and wipe it up. Awesome. Dry wash. This just means you're loading your brush with some color. There's nothing on the paper, it's totally dry, and you're just laying in that color. Okay, so that can totally look different too. You can smooth it out as much as you'd like or don't like. Okay, now I'm going to do the next one on the list, which which is dry wash with a dry brush. Just to give you an example of where we're going, these are the 3 we've done. This is where we're headed with number 4. So do the same thing we just did, nice and easy. Dry wash is what comes most natural to people, is what they'll tend to do with watercolor. Just put a wet brush on a dry paper. But as you'll see, there's so many other things we can do. Now, to start the next square, which is dry wash with a color mix, we are going to do yet another dry wash, and then we're going to come back to it and do another color over top. Okay, now I'm going to clean my brush, and I'm going to add an invisible water square here. I'm going to add a little bit more of that green, and I'm going to mix 2 colors on a wet wash. So it's always fun to kind of see what happens here. And then I'm going to use gravity to kind of help mix them. Pretty cool, huh? Awesome. Okay. Now we will get to the texture experiments.